Good morning, Rebecca Vigas, the writer whisperer from a sunny South Central Kentucky. I understand we are heading towards Indian summer because we have now had our frost for a couple of days and it's supposed to get up to 70 today. So it'll be a nice day. I'm looking forward to it. Today's discussion are, things that go bump in the night because these are great inspirations for writing. Imagine that. In the famous words of, it was a dark and stormy night. Well, there are other things that go bump in the night, or maybe they don't. And I've given you a list of 19, I believe, writing prompts for the day. Pick one. You don't have to pick them all. The one that appeals to you the most, like write a falling dream in which something or someone is falling. Write about a nightmare, real or imagined. In a dream, you're being pursued. Why? Write a daydream. Someone says sweet dreams. In the middle of the night, you're awakened from a dream. And there were animal dreams. You've had this dream before. It's what whispers your name at night. Dreams of horses and poetry roots itself in the dreamer, after Judy Michaels. So it's something that Judy Michaels might have said, since it's in quotes. In my dream, you're dreaming you have left your body. That one's intriguing. In a dream, like a bird with a broken wing. These were the messages of the dream. There was a rabbit nibbling a fallen apple. That night, I dreamed of once I dreamed of water. This is the language of dreams. I dreamed I saw a silver spaceship, after Neil Young. Judy Reeves gives these as writing prompts, and you can use them to create yourself a retreat. Now, a writing retreat doesn't mean you have to go to someplace exotic. Go to your favorite spot to write. A coffee shop, a little diner, a spot near water, in a garden, wherever it is you go to be alone and write. And it doesn't mean there can't be other people around. They're just not in your space. When I lived in Michigan, there was a community park in the town I lived in. And I would go to the park and find a picnic table close to the river. Okay, it was really more of a creek. It was a branch of a river. And I would sit there I would read about writing, I would write, I would walk, I'd come back, I'd read more about writing, and I'd write, because that for me was a good place to be. It was out of my house where I couldn't see all the things I had to do that were waiting to be done, daily household chores. I can't see them if I'm sitting on a park bench or at a picnic table and listening to a babbling brook or the laughter of children in the playground or a picnic going on in the gazebo. I can't see those sitting in my living room. My living room, I can see them in my mind. And if I picked up anything at all that struck me, then I wrote it down. So things that go bump in the night or dreams at night or just nighttime noises. I left my house about 4 o'clock yesterday. Hey, it was the warmest part of the day. It was 68 degrees. I just drove into the local post office and dropped some things off. And then I drove home. And as I'm coming up my driveway, there's a curve to go into the garage. And as I'm starting around this curve, here's a little deer hopping along. It's one of the rescues from my neighbor's wildlife rescue that has now been returned to its natural habitat, and it still comes back to where it was released from. And I think it was Buddy, I don't think it was Red. Yeah, they named the deer. And there are videos of the deer running with the kids and the dogs. So I know that the deer are not afraid of the dogs, which could be a bad thing. And they're definitely not afraid of humans, which is also a bad thing. But they don't wander far and they seem to like my yard. So, munch away, guys. I don't really care. There's nothing you're going to hurt. I hear steps on my roof at night. Not often and not real late at night. Like maybe just at sunset. And occasionally I've been known to holler, "Get off my roof." It's just the squirrels. And I know this. And it's an ongoing battle with squirrels around here, but when you live in the woods, that's what you get. I do not feed the squirrels. I have hickory trees, I have oak trees, and I have some tree that gets a weird berry on it. Although I don't think the squirrels like the berries, they do like my grapes. And if the birds don't get the grapes first, then the squirrels do. I remember being a kid and there'd be a squirrel in the backyard and we'd holler, "Squirrel!" And dad would pick up the 22 and slide open the door at the back, off the back patio, and we'd hear a gunshot, and he got one. He didn't miss very often, and he was shooting squirrels until he died. That was dad's things. Squirrels, the beavers that dammed up the river that ran through his house. Yeah, he and the beavers went round and round. Um, Raccoons. Holy cow. I'm sorry. I just realized that my Christmas cactus has a bloom. Um, it generally blooms in November and into December, and then it blooms again in February. It's a weird Christmas cactus. It's got its own agenda. But that's not dreams. What do you dream about? I can remember dreaming about a computer game I played. And I would be playing this stupid computer game in my head, even though I hadn't touched it since first thing in the morning. Here it is. I'm sound asleep and I'm dreaming of the stupid computer game. I do not like to play computer games just before going to bed, just before turning off the computer. It's not a wise thing. I don't like to do it. I'm just not set up for that. Then I end up dreaming about it. Really? I want to dream about games when I'm asleep? I don't think so. I have been known to wake up from a dream in which I got an idea. And I get up and I take the pad that's next to my bed and I write the idea. And then I turn off the light and go back to sleep. I have learned over the years that if I don't do this when it comes to me, when I wake up in the morning, the idea is gone. Like, totally no grasp of what it was. So there is a notepad next to my bed. And yes, I do use it. I sometimes use it first thing in the morning when I wake up from something I want to remember. So, what goes bump in your night? Or what do your dreams tell you? And I'm sure that around here somewhere is a book my daughter bought me for dream interpretation. I've never used it. Um, it doesn't mean it's not a good resource, and maybe I should use it, but I don't always. The other night, I dreamed of a group of teenagers who were at a picnic or on some camping excursion. And there were two sisters there, an older and a younger one. And the younger one's boyfriend decided he didn't like the older sister. and he was getting everyone to bully her and pick on her and, you know, push her in the water or drop her on the hiking path, just stuff to irritate. I don't remember how it ended or if it did. I just know it was a horrendous dream because this poor girl had done nothing except be the older sister. It's not like she had dated the boyfriend or been interested in the boyfriend before her younger sister came along. And the boyfriend, he was evil. He was not a nice person. That I do remember. But I have no idea at all how the dream ended or if it did. And it's not like I expect it to reoccur. Not at all. I very rarely have reoccurring dreams. Or if I do, I don't remember them. I had a dream guide, um, like a diary of dreams, and I would get up in the morning and write down everything I remembered, and then there were days I didn't remember anything. It's like, really? Did I not dream? Was I that sound asleep? So take your creative life, take these 19 or 20 writing prompts and create something. A short story, a flash fiction. Do your story in 1,000 words or 1,500. But do your story. Just write it, let it go. It doesn't have to be published, doesn't have to be polished. But if you're not writing or practicing writing, what's the point? You're supposed to be a writer, and writers write. Hang on, jot down these